JB here, JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. July 10th, 2024, about 2:11 here. We have a little less than 2 hours left in the trading day and more all-time highs here. The S&P is right at highs, as right as I'm speaking here. The SPY, well, the S&P broke over 5,600 for the first time ever. The SPY crossed 560, and just a slow, methodical melt to the upside since the open this morning. Powell was doing his testimony more. I always say over the last couple of years, every time he does these testimonies, the important part is just his prepared remarks, which he issued the same exact prepared remarks this morning as he did yesterday, and then it's just posturing for politicians to make them look like they are important or whatever you want to call it. So he did pretty much say that they're not going to wait for 2% inflation to cut rates. I think it's pretty much just setting the stage for the first rate cut to happen in September, pending any craziness with CPI data, which we get CPI tomorrow, PPI on Friday. Earnings season kicks off uh, on Friday with the banks. It should be interesting here. So now you're going to get a lot of rumblings, just like yesterday on the front page of a lot of these publications. You start hearing the rumblings of it's the top. We're going to get some kind of correction. There's going to be a lot of fear mongering with markets at all-time highs. But this is my, I wouldn't say it's my saying, but new highs typically beget new highs. Once we broke through into all-time highs, it's easier to continue going. And at some point, we'll have some selling. Uh, so the good thing, at least today, is that um, the small caps are participating. That's not up as much as the S&P, but relative to um, what it did yesterday, it underperformed, and right now that's pretty much keeping lockstep with the S&P. So that's a good sign, and hopefully, I sound like a broken record until either the record doesn't break or it happens. But at some point, the small caps could provide the next leg for markets. So that's the overall market. Take a look at individual names, and Baidu just a monster move right at the gate this morning, and that's on the heels of its big move yesterday, where it had its strongest day. And hang on one sec. Sorry about that, folks. It had its strongest day in over a year. I think it was 16 months. Its strongest day. Some of it was the news reports that the rollout of a robo taxi in Wuhan, I think it was. But again, I've said it when I did my rant last week around so many potential catalysts for Biden, and I don't think a lot of that's even nearly priced in. Some consolidation today, so got all the way to the 50-day moving average, which is 90. Is it 98.06? Or no, 98.86. So maybe some consolidation today, tomorrow, and then we can start looking for a move to 115 in the coming weeks. It did get over 100. And in the morning, I locked some more of my strikes in for over 1,000%. And then I'll still hold the last, I only have a couple of the July strikes left, and I'll continue to hold my August for the move higher in the coming weeks. Chewy had a nice move from 11 o'clock to the noon hour, all the way up to near 26. The good thing, the call premiums are starting to gain more value again, which was the opposite the last couple sessions before. And I was able to close some of the calls I added yesterday for 100% to cover cost. I still have some other strikes, July 40s, August 45s, and the January 2025s. I'll continue to hold those, I think. I keep saying it, $30 in the coming week or two, and then at some point 35 to 40. That's that. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that, folks. Keep getting interrupted here. All right, so that's Chewy. Wingstop, look at monster sell-off. Well, I say monster sell-off, but relative to the last couple months, it's like the biggest 3-session sell-off that I can see if you scroll back the chart. So all the way from the pretty much all-time high levels in the mid 420s. I think it was 425 or so when I got the puts. And then this morning hit all the way down to 382. I'd already locked some of the puts in yesterday just to cover some of the costs, and then I locked some more in this morning. And right now they were just $8. I didn't even look what they are right now. 720 by 780. So just have a couple left on those. I'll probably just continue to hold that. The whole space as a whole, it just seems like the theme has been stuck in a rut, right? And then McDonald's had a downgrade today. And I'm trying to think of some of the other names here in that space. You take a look at Kava's not doing well today, which is surprising. Typically, when the market rallies, Kava seemed like a momentum name, and now it's that'll close down 3 sessions in a row. It's down almost 4% today. So I think that just means there's more opportunity for Wing to drop just a little bit more, and then I'll look to lock the rest of my puts in. So that's Wing stop. Hang on, I don't know why I can't get my stuff going. I'm a little messy today. Celsius Holdings, every time it gets up to about 58 or so, it reverses. It looks like there's sellers there. I'm not saying this is a similar, it looked like a pincher before, but it's definitely not the same type of pincher that Baidu was. But one of these days, once it finds the buyers that the sellers are gone at 58, it's going to take off over the 200-day moving average at 65. I think that's just a matter of time before that one breaks out. Similar to what Baidu did, right? Baidu didn't just run the day I got the calls. It took some time to run. And then last but not least, I'm going to say last but not least, and I hate to even talk about it because every time it looks like it's going to start an uptrend into the back to 80, 90 and above, it has a 3 session rally, teases everybody, and then sells off. But that's VKTX. Finally, some strength today, VKTX, almost near that 60 handle. Just all it's going to take is just to get folks hyped in, rumors, things like that, and then back mid 60s and 70s, so on and so forth. That's VKTX. I'm trying to think of some of the other names. Chewy, AMD. Crazy, right? So yesterday I didn't want to lose the rest of profits on my AMD calls, and then sure enough, what happens? They announce an AI acquisition. Is it a European company? I didn't even look to see what that is. Yeah. So the 200 is actually not up as much as I thought they'd be. But sometimes it's comical how it works. One day you sell for the profits, the next day it announces a catalyst news event that the stock just skyrocketed in the pre-market. Then all the way up to, I think it hit 187. At 187.28 at 10 o'clock before pulling back. A name I'll revisit at some point, but it seems like it was left behind. I was calling it the stepchild, right? That's what AMD had been trading like over the last couple weeks, despite all the other names running. And finally, it's playing catch up. And who knows how much more has left? Maybe it gets to 190 or so, but it's going to do it without me on the bandwagon, right? Oh, and then Square, all the way down to 62.83 at 10 o'clock this morning. So despite the market rallying, Square just can't get its footing. This might be the first day, and I don't know, did it hit 65 in the morning? Might have opened at 65. So this would be like the sixth or seventh session in a row where it gets to 65, doesn't hold, and closes in 64. CRM news? I didn't even see that. Is there a spike? Yeah, I don't see anything just yet. But anyway, folks, that's about it. We have about 1 hour, 40 minutes to the close. I'm probably not going to do much else adding today, just ahead of data tomorrow. It just doesn't make sense unless I see some obvious opportunity. And then, yeah, hopefully some more fun tomorrow. Have a great day, folks. Rock and roll.